Well, hello. Welcome to today's edition of My View from the Pew. I'm Rodney Blockett, and as always, I appreciate you stopping by the channel today. So it's been a while, probably almost a year since I posted a video. So lots going on in my life with jobs and grandkids and just busy stuff in general. So hoping to get back on the wagon, so to speak, with my videos and kind of sharing some of my thoughts with you. So today, being Memorial Day, I thought I would at least kick off a little information for you, or a little story, so to speak, on kind of the importance of Memorial Day. So, as I was growing up as a kid, my mom would always talk about her two uncles who both were killed in action in World War II. So, my mom was born in 1942. They were both killed in 44. So, I think probably some of her memories are more what her mother had told to her about her brothers and kind of the things that transpired. But for those who may have known my mom, she didn't throw anything away, nor did her mother. So as we were going through, my brother and I were going through the house after my mom passed away, we found a lot of old documents and things that talked a little bit about the two brothers and kind of the history that went on as far as World War II and what all happened through there. And my mom had always mentioned that both of them had received Purple Hearts. And at that time in the era, I guess it was, their caskets were actually in the living room of my grandmother's home, which had been her mother's home at the time. Excuse me. And just kind of a lot of things that went along with that. So I thought in honor of Memorial Day today, and really what is Memorial Day about is honoring those who have sacrificed for us in the military. So I thought I'd talk to you a little bit about Private First Class Virgil Johnson and Staff Sergeant Fred Johnson, which would have been my great uncles at the time. So World War II, they were Private First Class Virgil Johnson was age 21. Unfortunately, was killed in action August 8th of 1944. Staff Sergeant Fred Johnson, age 24, was killed in action September 23rd of 1944. So I think when we think of Memorial Day, we don't really think of the letters and the people who show up, and the first lines is, "We regret to inform you." So I can't imagine would be my great grandmother, receiving that word and receiving that information that both of her sons were killed in action, really within about a month and a half apart from each other. So some of the things that's interesting as I'm going through this box of letters and pictures and correspondence is, the letters that they would get, and obviously it's well delayed from the time they would come from Germany and France from there. But one of the brothers saying, "I'm fine, looking forward to some of the things you might send to me. I'm hoping to see my brother over in Germany, hoping to see him here." And a lot of those, if you look at the dates, those were just a few months or really weeks before they were, one of the two were killed in action and the other one killed in action. So, but the interesting thing as I'm going through this paperwork, and again, I think back to Memorial Day and really what it means is the sacrifice for those who sacrifice for us, but also the families. So World War II, as you imagine going on there, some of the paperwork that my mom kept from her mother's kept was just the delay. So again, both gentlemen were killed, one in August and one in September of 1944. So they received a telegram from Western Union, May 18th, 1948. So the telegram reads, "The remains of your late sons, Private First Class Virgil Johnson and Staff Sergeant Fred Johnson, have arrived at the distribution center. Records of this office indicate you wish remains delivered to Parker Mortuary in Joplin. Please instruct your funeral director to accept the remains. Upon arrival, we regret it's not possible at this time to give you a definite date. However, 3 days prior to shipment from this depot, your funeral director will be notified." And the information, actually a couple of days later, on May 28th of 1948, 10 days later, they get another telegram that says the remains are being shipped to you via the railroad. And again, it's just, I can't imagine as a parent, one, just losing both sons in action and within a month and a half, one another, but also having to wait almost 4 years to be able to bury your sons at that point in time to get that. So if you think they died in 1944, it's 1948 before they get a telegram. And then a lot of the paperwork that comes to them slowly but surely, as I look through the dates of, there is an option. Basically, you could have your sons interred at the cemetery in France. You know, here's information about death benefit, here's information about this or that. And so you're just kind of a death by a thousand cuts. You keep getting information a little at a time, but you don't have your sons yet to be able to properly bury them. Then once they did arrive, it's like the services were actually in June of 1948, of which the services for both brothers at the time. So as I'm thinking about Memorial Day and, you know, the sacrifices that they made and going through this, you know, just what the families go through, and whether that be from World War I, World War II, Vietnam, you know, Afghanistan, whatever the case may be, is that, you know, really remembering that it's Memorial Day is not about a cookout and a barbecue and a sale. I see so many things anymore of we have a sale, Memorial Day sale, Memorial Day this or that, and really it's a time to remember those who have taken the time and volunteered to put their life on the line for us. So one of the neat things, I guess, for remembrance, and I'm hoping to kind of put all this stuff together in some kind of a frame or box or something, but up on the shelf behind me, you see there's a 48 star flag. So there was 2 of those. My brother and I each got one of those that were my mom's belongings that each were on each one of the caskets. Then I was able to have first class Virgil's, who was 21 at the time, his Purple Heart was in there that he received as well. So I'm trying to figure out a good way to kind of memorialize those things and to make it so that it's something that can be respectful for them. But as you look at Memorial Day and kind of think about what today is honoring, you know, think about the sacrifices of not just my 2 uncles, my 2 great uncles, but, you know, hundreds of thousands of young men and women who have given their lives for this great nation. So just, again, take some time out, maybe it's 5-10 minutes of your day today, and just remember those. So I want to say today, as we close out, you know, we're certainly appreciative of the contributions and the willingness to serve, and thank you First Class Private Virgil Johnson and Staff Sergeant Fred Johnson. I'm Ronnie Blockett. That's my view from the pew.